I'm going to share a few words from Ernest Holmes. I'll sprinkle in some affirmations along the way. We'll have a few moments of silence together, and I'll bring us back with an opening prayer. So we can let the sound of Marina Ray and her beautiful flute music carry us gently as we become more and more present in this very moment. So let's begin by noticing the rhythm of our breath. Can you feel the beating of your heart? Today's reading is titled, Now I Am Made Whole. If God is the all-encompassing deity, then our body and every part of it is made out of that which God is. The infinite substance, which is of God, is the substance of our body. It is constantly flowing through us. Taking form in the likeness of perfect, whole, complete cells. There is a perfect pattern for every cell of every organ. The cells of the body are filled with life, vitality, strength, as we accept their divine source. And as the body knows no time or degree, it can only respond and express instantaneously. The divine presence, being everywhere, is present with me. It is that which I really am. recognition floods my entire consciousness. I rejoice in my divinity. I am made vigorous and hardy. I have the stamina of the infinite. I am fortified with God's perfection and right action. I now experience the strength and power of the universe. This breath I now draw. This thought I now establish fills me with perfection, vitalizing, upbuilding, and renewing every cell of my body. My body now manifests only divine wholeness and perfection. I am made whole. I am made whole. I am now made whole. And so I bless this day, this perfect day that God has made for each and every one of us to bask in its infinite glory, to experience its unconditional love, and to witness its promise to go before us and make the path of our dreams and desires come true, made manifest. I know that this life that we live is in perfect unity with itself. And there's a perfect synchronicity going on, bringing about my every desire. Ultimately, I know that life is good, that God is everywhere, present in, through, and as my very life. I know that I am blessed, and everywhere I go, I am a blessing to the world. And so it is.
This is a Ricky Byers Day. I invite you to join us as we sing Ashe, Ashe. So, I'm going to fill you in just a little bit. We have been talking about Awe-Inspiring August all month. Awe-Inspiring August, because August, the word August, represents greatness. There's a whole laundry list of all of the types of greatness that it represents. And we have quite a bit of that within us, so we're celebrating it all month long. And today we're talking about uncurbing your enthusiasm and celebrating who you are. We started the month out talking about how our genius goes, from wide open in infancy to barely there by the time we're 20 years old. And the following week, we looked at understanding more about our zone of genius from the big leap and how we can support ourselves in spending more time in that zone of genius. And this week, we're talking about enthusiasm, authenticity, and living out loud. Inspired in name only by an HBO sitcom called Curb Your Enthusiasm, because I didn't watch it. I'm one of those non-cable TV types. I love the title though. I thought, wouldn't it be great to talk about uncurbing our enthusiasm right now? So, think about this. I know you're going to relate to these images. So that genius, which we've been talking about week 1 and week 2, and here we are looking at it a little bit more, that we still had so much awareness of when we were small. Made some loud noises and made for a lot of activity, didn't it? Many of us were so imaginative, so talkative, into everything, and saw little or very few limits to what was possible. I remember many nights at home, at a friend's house, or at our own house with my friends. You know when you have sleepovers, right? And whichever room we're in, we're all giggling. We've had our baths, we're in pajamas, we're in bed, the lights are out, and we can't stop giggling and talking. And either my dad or my friend's dad would come down the hallway and say, "Quiet down in there," right? I'm sure you remember those moments. Quiet down in there. And life was so freaking interesting. It was the hardest thing to do. It was the hardest thing to settle down and go to sleep. Because we hadn't learned about all those grown-up limits yet. So slowly but surely, at home, at school, at church, at synagogue, at mosque, at work, we all learned how to dial back our genius, how to quiet down in here, in our heads and in our hearts, to turn down the spigot of our creative genius more and more and more. That's not true of everyone, of course, but it is true of many of us. In fact, the settings of our early years are absolutely not alike. There may be some people who did not have that memory that I just described. In general, though, we are born, we are raised, and we are guided to fit in to a set of cultural norms that often cause the best of us to be set aside for another time, another day, someday. I remember my sister, I just went to upstate New York with her. She's the one that I flew there and back with. She used to say to my dad with her hands on her hips, "But someday never comes." She was a little pistol even then. So, however, something else happens. Later, those qualities reemerge. Sometimes they reemerge as we get a sense of great inspiration, like, oh, I know exactly what I want to be when I grow up. I did not have that happen, by the way. I had friends who figured it out, figured out their major first time, met their high school sweetheart. They've had a great career, a great marriage, and they're all done now. And I'm still scratching my head. No. Sometimes it can come in the form of inspiration, and sometimes these feelings of enthusiasm and inspiration and creativity may have been festering a little bit, and they arrive in a sense of something bothering us, but they do emerge. You may have heard of this concept called divine discontent, right? A beautiful name for when things are bothering us because we know there's more than what we're experiencing right now. And so somebody has the audacity to say, that's perfect too. So our development, our sense of identity can be smooth, leading to a strong sense of self and purpose, or it can be rocky and drawn out, yet it too will always happen. It will always emerge. There's something interesting that Ernest Holmes refers to as the divine livingness. It's one of his many made-up terms for the spirit of the infinite that is within each and every one of us. It is forever seeking further expression and experience by means of its creations. That means you and me, that's our deal. That's our assignment. That is life. We evolve slowly or quickly, smoothly or otherwise, into greater expressions and experiences of being that. That's life. So what about this enthusiasm? It seems to be an indicator of really being on to something, of being tapped into possibility, of vividly imagining something and the greater expressions and experiences of being that. It's a vivid imagination with energy just building and building and building, and it's a really great feeling. Eckhart Tolle in A New Earth says that enthusiasm and anxiety use the same neural pathways. And he says in that book, by the way, if you remember, that some people won't know which one you are. Are you really nervous or are you excited? I don't know. I can't tell. But whatever else, I remember that part from reading that. We also know now that we can actually not just focus on clearing away anxiety so that we can experience enthusiasm. We can intentionally engage in activities which bring out enthusiasm, bring it up, and that will sweep away and wash away that anxiety. Because they both can't use that pathway at the same time. So I love that. I was not feeling that this afternoon, but I had a lot of extra energy and some time to kill. And so I decided I'm going to go for a walk with my headphones on, and then I'm going to do some sit-ups and lift weights in the living room, because I can't really leave the house right now, but I can do that. And I just turned on the music and I had a ball, because I could. So I'm feeling pretty good, gotta say. Anyway, so this enthusiasm. One of the most common suggestions, by the way, about dealing with anxiety is to breathe. It is to breathe, and as we learned last week from The Big Leap by Dr. Gay Hendricks, to ask ourselves, to love ourselves for what we are afraid of. Just breathe and ask the big question. And find out that nobody's going to melt. Nobody's going to self-destruct. It's just a part of us that needs to talk to us about something important. And once we listen, it can tell us what that is. And then we can do something about it together. So, here's a possible reason why we might be afraid of uncurbing our enthusiasm. We may have been told to quiet down in there because we also needed rest, which seemed so unrealistic. When you're like, who needs rest? Well, of course we do. Especially when we're still developing, we need it. We may have been told to reel it in so that another sibling or maybe a classmate would have a chance to share too. I know some of you are the same kind of kid that I was. I sat front and center at school, and it was like, and the teacher's like, can you give somebody else an opportunity to share, right? Oh, all right. I used to talk my way through lunch, so then I wasn't done with my food when it was time for recess. I'm sure you believe that too. Yeah. Okay, so there's some other things. We may have been taught to follow protocol at work, or in the military, or in some large organization of some sort. Why? Because that's the only way that something can be accomplished that's greater than what any one of us could do alone. We get to learn how to cooperate. So even though we have this beautiful feeling at birth of being at the center of the universe, everybody else is too. So part of this dialing down actually has a purpose. Remember, we are tying enthusiasm to imagination, possibility, and creative genius. And some of you are going to laugh, but I said, oh, if we had only had Thomas Troward when we were 12, I'm sure that would have just been an add to the laundry list of weird things that I would have brought up. He says that the combination of will and imagination are like the guide and the motor on a power tool. One makes sure that it provides direction, and the other gets the job done. And as long as we use our will to guide our imagination in the direction of our desired outcome, it will eventually come to pass. As you know, that could be in 5 minutes or decades, or somewhere in between. But that thing of using our will to guide our imagination is literally guiding our creative power. So we don't want to throw it out entirely. We just want to learn how to use it in a way that cooperates with how life works. Perhaps another reason for starting our lives off with a sense of infinite possibility is simply to bait us into coming here at all, right? And then to set us off with, just like a seed is packed with so many nutrients, and a blueprint for what it's going to be, we're packed with this inspiration so that we're crazy enough to come here and do this thing. Because, man, have you noticed? It's a little complicated, right? It's way more than a little. So perhaps the seeming dialing down is really so we can merge onto the highway of life by matching the course and speed of the other traffic. That's common sense, by the way. If you want to join a moving group of individuals, cars or not, you match their speed and their direction, and then it's a simple lateral adjustment, and you're there moving with them. If you don't, you know what happens. You have a crack up. So maybe part of this is about matching the course and speed of everybody else here on earth so we can do some earthly good. Maybe being dialed back felt personal, like we've been cheated out of something. I know, oh man, I had a few tantrums and I cried a lot about feeling cheated out of, when anybody said no, I thought it was a grave injustice. I didn't get it yet. Maybe we are actually shown how to fit into this construct so that we can begin to realize possibilities here in time and space. So what about our enthusiasm for possibilities and creativity reemerging later? There are many common scenarios for this. One can be that when we complete a phase in our lives, such as when our children are grown and go off to begin lives of their own, or when we realize that we're complete with a place or a job or a relationship, or when there's a significant change in our economic status or in the world around us. Also, when we graduate or retire. Another can be when we have a wake-up call. We could have something such as a serious illness or injury, or the loss of a loved one. There are lots of things that bring us back to that place of why am I here? The creative discontent, which is also the fire under your, what? That says there's something still to be lived here. Life energy just keeps showing up as our reasons for being. New, old, renewed. It has the qualities of something that has been there all along, while people, places, and things come and go. One of the most refreshing and reassuring realizations of my own after going through a very long, dramatic patch of learning a few things was to recognize the me that was still there after all that. To look back and see that thread and realize after all this and that and them and those have come and gone, here I still am. It's a beautiful thing to do, to reflect on who you still are, because it's tied to all of this. So this thing is something that abides. It's what has been, it's what is now, it's whatever will be the essence of who and what we are. And it is forever still seeking form and experience by means of us. It is life. So what does it mean for you today, right now? Just going to change the slide. To get into the car of your life, choose a destination. Buckle up. Start your engine and move away from the curb, rejoining the flow of life. Maybe the first order of business is to savor your curb time and reflect on where you have been and where you'd like to go next. Because it's really not wise to take off when you don't know where that is yet. So part of the wisdom in all of this is knowing when it's time to stay at the curb for a bit and get that clarity, and you'll know when you get it. Maybe, though, you've known for a long time and you realize this is your moment. Embrace wherever you are, whatever part of this cycle that you are in, and know that the divine livingness as you, as enthusiasm, is waiting for you to come out and play another day. Do you remember having somebody waiting for you to come out and play? And you're like, oh, please let me go. Life is like that, and is waiting for you to come out and play. So you have permission, starting right now, to go play. Thank you. She said. So we're going to do something called the honoring of conscious giving. And it is an opportunity to participate in something great. You're already doing it because you are here, and we are so grateful for that. You know, when you start something that's a twinkle in your eye, it's just a dream, like a little flame, and you fan it, and it all started with rubbing a couple of sticks together. It is so wonderful to be here together in this growing group of hearts, minds, friends doing this. Another thing that is involved is paying the bills and fueling the dream. So we're going to add some fuel to all of that in this honoring of conscious giving. So what I'd like you to do is keep in mind a gift you may have already given, one you are about to give, or one you will do later or later this week, and say this affirmation with me together aloud. Today is filled with blessing for myself and others. Gratefully I accept of the divine love and givingness and extend them to everyone I meet. And so it is. One of the things that you can do also is text the word give to 864-263-1234. That's 864-263-1234. Or you can go to our website, cslgreenville.com/give. Or you can talk to me afterwards about how to mail a check to CSL Greenville. We welcome and give thanks for all of those gifts. Thank you, Ken.
Takes so long to get up.
Thank you. So we're going to sing this song together from Karen Drucker. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I because they came from you and you are pure spirit. And what that means is that we are blessed in the giving and in the receiving. We are participating in the circulation of good. Each of us is a distributor of love and good. And for this, I am truly grateful and thankful, because I know that that means we are equally prospered. And so it is. So, guess where you are? This is the Sunday Soul Feast. Thank you for choosing to be here. We are continuing with our theme for one more week on celebrating the greatness in each and every one of us. And we got some great things in store for September. What else? Our spiritual living circle. Oh my goodness, it's coming up on a birthday really soon. We've been meeting since the first Monday in September of 2023 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Zoom. We have an average of 8 or 9 really smart and wonderful people there. Some of you are in the room, and we always have a great conversation. We would love to have you join us. All you need to do is go to our website and click on a little thing that will take you to the registration form, simply to give you the Zoom information, because we met some Zoom bombers and they're just no fun. So you just have to go sign up to get the Zoom info, and that way it'll just be us. Okay. All right. Change your thinking, change your life. We've been talking about this for a little bit, and slowly the numbers are increasing in the sign up. This is a 5-week course which begins Tuesday night, August 27th, and it goes through Tuesday night, September 24th. I can't believe I'm saying September out loud. It is a 2-hour class each night. It's also free of a textbook. It serves as an introduction to the science of mind and spirit. It's the shortest one there is, the easiest one there is, most contemporary, lots of fun. Again, you get to sign up for that. So we can give you the Zoom link and a student manual. And we will be doing this one, rather than tuition, we'll be doing it on a love offering basis weekly. So there will be a welcoming of gifts at the end of each class. Okay, what else we got? Make a prayer request. We have yellow cards over there if you'd like to fill out a prayer request and drop it in this beautiful vessel. And you can also go to our website at any time and fill out a prayer request. And what we will do is know the truth about you with regard to that and everything else whenever you ask. Okay, we're good. Oh yeah, this is so important. We have other CSLs going, yay, you, from Hawaii and wherever. What we want is to build community through social media. You know why? Because it's shareable. It's shareable. It goes viral. So we want you to like us, follow us, comment, like, share, message, whatever. Invite your friends. Help us build community.